All right, let's see some tractors. For today's video, I'm going to bring you to a town in Wisconsin, Ellison Bay, in good old Door County, Wisconsin. The tractor show was held at Liberty Grove Historical Society. So real close to Ellison Bay. Nice little tractor show. Located in this little triangle here. Right here. Neat little tractor show. Here's a 1949 Ford 8N. Original clothes. The 9s had a bigger center. It was a different style. I think the front might have been too. I don't remember from last year already. Eight ends came out in 48. This is a 49, so checks out. 1949N. Here we get to look. Yeah, see the difference? A 9N. Got the small hub, and then the center of the rim is that big circle. This is more of a bolt-on style. Alice B.
What year? 42.
1942.
This price was $497.
Must be a B again, I'm thinking. Looks like the other one. Doesn't say what it is. Looks like that one though. There's an Alice D17. This is after like the WD-45s and stuff. Introduced the B series. The WD. There's a 175. D15. I don't think that's the smallest. I don't know. Is it 13? I'm not sure which one's the smallest one. A homemade tractor. Cool fuel tank, looks like from a boat or something. But hey, if it works, it works, huh? You know, back in the day, you just use whatever would work. It's a warm one today. It's like 90. Humidity is really high. Case VAC 1946. That's their small model. A lot of originals here. Here's a John Deere A. It's a Farmall Super M. looks familiar from the auction that was nearby last year. Could be the same one. So there's a wide front. Wide fronts are rare on these. It's probably a 6-speed. It's got the newer fenders. Yeah, I think it might be the same tractor. I was bidding on this. Still has the auction number on it. It's probably the same one. Here is a John Deere A. Lots of original ones here. Work clothes. I like that too. Farmall M. That one that started up as a Super M. Maybe that. Just like Oliver did, where they superized them. They basically just make changes. Farmall F12. This was the older ones. See, it's got a magneto. Oil bearings once a week. I think that got done. I bet not. There's a Moline Universal Model D. Oh, concrete for weights. That's pretty cool though. I like that. Sit way back here. At least this way, if you fall off of it, it's pretty much, you don't get run over by the back tires. Yeah, it's gonna pivot here, looks like. How does that work? Yeah, pivot here. So it's kind of an articulating one. There is a heater. Yeah, heater. Or is it hider? I don't know. Rock Island Plow Company. I've heard of them. I don't know much anything about them, but a lot of tractors back in the day, and like over 100 manufacturers. And then they all started getting bought up. McCormick Deering 2236. Look at this. Extra pull. Here's a John Deere GP. General purpose. And this is like a HNL. Single front, and it's really lowered to the ground. Here's an Allis G. These are pretty cool. I like these. The garden tractor G. Engine in the back. It would be competing against the Farmall A's and B's and Cubs. Oliver Super 44. I don't know the years they were built though. Looks like it's got a 3-speed in reverse and then a low. Allis RC. 1939. That's an oldie. Would be in the era of that Oliver 70. Oh, that 70 is newer. It would be late 40s. mid, something like that. John Deere B. Alice C. One of their little models. There's another 8N Ford. Ford and Ferguson, as you know, where came up with a 3-point hitch and became what you know today. Here's a Ferguson TO20. So here you got the Ferguson and then the Ford right next to it. They had some sort of lawsuit or something back in the day for a 3-pointer, the hydraulics or something, and then it was Ford Ferguson for a while, and then Henry Ford branched off and did his own thing. International 444. Little utility model. Hi guys. Ferguson TO35. A little bit bigger than the 25. Not surprising, right? Got a blade on the back. It's a TO20. Ford Golden Jubilee 1953. Farmall B. The Bellymore. It's PTO driven. There's a Ford 1600 diesel. I don't know if I've ever seen one of them. Here's a John Deere B. It says B. Got no purpose on the side. Ford Ferguson feature is working. It's cool. Ford 641 Workmaster, 1959. Here's a little Ford. Looks like a 9 or a 2. I don't know if the 2s have that same wheel. It's not an 8 though. See how the hub's different there too? The 8 had just a regular lug bolts. This has got a real wide wheel center. Doesn't say what it is. It's a 39 9N. Must be horny. Here's a 1958N with a step-up transmission. I think that's what this is. So here you can see the regular wheels. It's a 9, that's an 8. John Deere A. Been nicely restored. Another 8N. This one's got a post hole digger. A hole digger of some sort. Missing the PTO shaft. Case VAI. I don't know if that's just the standard model of the VAC, I'm not sure. Here's a Ford. This one confuses me. It's got the wheels in the back like an 8 and then the front wheels like a 2. Or a 9 I mean. So it's got a hay loader on it. Here's a Massey 165. And a Ford, another Golden Jubilee, the NAA 53 model. D17 Alice. John Deere A. Ford 8N52. There are a lot of 8Ns here. And Fords. 53 Jubilee. This is a little Oliver 70 Standard 1948. These would be like the original headlights. You know, like eyes sticking out. Standards were the pulling models. You wouldn't run the cultivators under them. Looks like it's a 6-speed, which makes sense. 48, right? Yeah. Here's a 77 with cultivators on it. 1950. So let's see if it's a 50. What do we got? Band brakes. The old style seat. What are other determining factors? Looking at this cultivator here, so you got power lift. They had a manual lift, a power lift, and they had a hydraulic. See, ours don't have the spring. We need the spring here. We'll try and find some. And it's got the track eradicators. Those raise up and down with it, and you get rid of your track. Because when you run over your ground, you'll plant the seeds. A lot of times, if you you know, just till your garden or till the soil, and you just step in it, you come back a week or two later, and where you stepped is green already. So that gets rid of the basically the planting the seeds. John Deere A. This one leaving here is at 870. I think they're getting set up for a parade. Farmall F12. $1938. Actually, it says F14 on it. This says F12. I don't know if they're moving them or putting them in the wrong spot. I don't know. Farmall F20. Some old Ford trucks. This is, I don't even know what this is. Combination truck and tractor. Here's a, it's like another Farmall, isn't it? A little rumbly here, 2040, little miniature. cherry picker. How was that? 43,000. Alright, this gentleman's gonna show me this. Stimulate the cherries. You go around and you do your whole orchard. Hydraulic for the conveyor. And then Skittles and Tootsie Rolls pop out. Where do I find the candy trees that produce Skittles and Tootsie Rolls and stuff? Cherries. You find me that, find me the money tree too. Oh yeah. There's some little guys. Remember these? I remember pushing them by my grandma. They seem to just neat. They just sit here and run. Fuller and Johnson Model N. Need a washing machine. Cataract 1900. Corn. These are grinding corn. You're just running a fan. There's some old drags and a grader. Old baler. Here's where you bring the field to the machine. Here's like a pull with horses. Cultivator IH. Here's an old plow. Massey Harris. Alright, you can also look at some buildings here. Here's a granary. Let's go in. 1890s. So there's a potato. I don't know what that does. Oh, a shaker. Probably shakes the ground off. Very neat. Neat building. Corn crib. Here's a summer kitchen. Migrant workers lived and cooked in the building during 46 to 48. Oh, she's warm in here. So I believe in the olden days they would use these. They'd have like their own kitchen or stove, like wood stove would be all wood, and they would cook probably in here to keep the heat out of the house. Called a summer kitchen. A Harry Ferguson 2-bottom plow. I like plows. It's a log house. Here's a little outhouse. Yep, didn't have the phones. All I had a phone book. I had to use magazines and newspapers. Didn't have the phones to take a crap. This is a picker shack. Used during the 40s and 50s at the Sam Dahlstrom Orchard. This picker shack is original except for a new roof and new walls. Most early migrant workers came to Liberty Grove from Mexico. Later, pickers found their way north from Jamaica and Louisiana. You can see some antiquities here. Potato digger. An IH. Kind of similar to ours. It looks like it's probably either a smaller model or older. Actually, it's really similar though. Similar there. I've never been up here, so I figured why not? I know it's hot, but I figured just walking around is better than like doing something strenuous. 56 all crops, 66. These were called all crops because they could do at one time over 100 crops. They were, in my mind, ahead of their time. So a pretty good combine. I do see some flying insects that I don't like, so I'm gonna not get real close. Here's a dump rake. These were generally pulled by horses, and it would gather the hay or straw, and then you dump it into a pile and pick it up. Probably with that hay loader that's over there. Or if it was horses, well, if it was horses, you'd be doing it by hand with a fork. But all those things were essential into evolution of, you know, it went from that to, you know, eventually what we have today. Here's a McCormick mower. Here's a feed cutter. Not sure if I got the corn planter on here. I don't think I did. Little 2-row 3-point planter, John Deere, on this Ford Jubilee.
In Chicago, Illinois. The Farmall M was made from 1939 and it ran all the way to 1952, where it was replaced by the Super M in 1953. Hey Owen, what's the next tractor?
It's a Farmall!
That's right, it's another Farmall. That is another Farmall model M wide front. Wisconsin. This is one of the small, actually the smallest version of a tractor that JIK's made. What's the next one? That is right. It is an Alice Model B, owned and driven by Stephanie Burke. The Alice B, one of the longest running tractors for make. We started making the Alice B in 1937 and it ran up until 1957. Next tractor is a John Deere Owen. It's a John Deere Model B. The Model B was started in 1934, 35, and then it ran all the way to 1953. What is the next tractor, Owen?
Henry.
Well, kind of like a Henry, but it's a Ferguson. A Ferguson Model 35. Okay, what's the next tractor? You're right this time, Owen. It's a Henry. We like to call Fords Henry. Henry Ford. That is a Ford Model 8N. The 8N was made from 48 to 52. This one has a peculiar setup. That little transmission set on end with a grill on it was made to be holes for cherry trees. That is, it's an allis-chalmers Model D15 with a bucket. In the mid-50s and all the way through the 60s, allis-chalmers made their D-series. D10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, and D21. What is this one?
Another Henry.
Well, yeah, that's right. It's another Ford. It's a Ford Model Jubilee, or an NAA in 1953. Ford celebrated 50 years of the Ford Motor Company, and they unveiled their new tractor called the Jubilee. Now this one is by my nephew Andrew Fluck. This is a 1948 Lark Clip rollaway Model 25. This would be a real-time mower that would be on more of your estate. John Deere Model A. This one will be from the late 40s or early 50s. Another Ford, yes it is.
Wow, that one's really pretty. Really got that one.
Here's another Ford Model NAA or Jubilee. This version has a nice disc plow on the back. It is that Owen is a Farmall Model B. The Model B went from about 1940 to 1946, and then it was replaced by the Model C. Yes, it is. It's the leader Ford, the blue model Ford. This one probably from the 70s. The Ford Model 1600. This one is. This is a 1938 unstyled John Deere C. Model B ran from 1935 all the way to 1952-53. This one is the unstyled version. Earlier we had a styled version. We styled them in 1939. What's this one, Owen? Yes, it is. It's another Henry or a Ford. This one is a Ford model, either 9N or 2N. 2N. This one here, leading the walk, is a ready power cultivator in the tractor. Single-cylinder tractor made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by the Pioneer Manufacturing Company in the 20s. Yes, it does. The Servant transmission gave the Ford 6. Yes, you get a high and a low. What Ellison family. This one has been at the tractor, this particular tractor show for many years. Before the Model A was the Model GT, we have a Model GT. Yes it is, it's an Allis Model G17, one of the more popular of the B series for Allis. G17 was a workhorse, did a lot of jobs around the farm bend, and this one in particular does jobs right now. They bale hay apparently every year with that one.
No.
It is another allis-chalmers, an allis-chalmers Model 175. 175 was one of the, actually in the middle of the allis-chalmers line at that time, late 60s, early 70s.
Do you like all of our tractors and equipment? If so, you can show me support by hitting that thumbs up or thumbs down if you didn't like it. Leave a comment. Consider subscribing, it's free. YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.